So little bit energy before the lunch break. So I'm expecting you'll give the right answers, inshallah. I'll share one picture along with one question and few four multiple options or maybe true false. And let's see how you're gonna respond to it. So we have question number one. Look at the picture first. $100 question is there. All extinguishers are good for all fires. True or false?
False.
False. Okay, brilliant, mashallah. And because as per the classes of fire, we need to use the extinguishing media in line with the type of class of fire. So water, dry powder form, carbon dioxide or wet chemical, even different other media is also available in the market now. Correct answer, mashallah. Look at the picture. Question number two. Fire extinguisher should be. Fire extinguishers should be serviced at least every 3 years, located as required by local regulations or fire hazard identification, used to hold doors open or check frequently for good operation by weighing the extinguisher. $200 question number two. Fire extinguishers should be. Yes, please. Fire extinguishers should be.
B.
Yes, Mr. Abdul Malik.
B.
Sorry,
B or D?
B or D? Okay.
Yes.
I think D.
D?
D, yes. Dammam.
Okay. So, any other opinion, please? Mr. Fawaz? Mr. Abdul Salam, Mr. Wada, what is your opinion? Please get involved, participate, and enjoy the learning journey, inshallah. Just 2 more days left. So,
B, B.
B. So,
I think it's
located,
B.
yeah. So, located as required by local regulations. As I mentioned several times,
Yeah.
the number one thing is our Saudi regulations. We have to respect, first of all, our local regulations, then somewhere else we're going to think about. So the right answer is B. B for best, located as required by local regulations or by fire hazard identification. Correct answer, mashallah. Now we have question number three. $300 question is there. Look at the picture first. The question is, fire extinguishers should be checked visually monthly by checking. The extinguishers are located and stored correctly and installed according to the local law. Pressure gauge were fitted, needle is in the green zone. No damage, no leaks, no rust, and the pin is in place. All of the above. $300 question number three.
D.
D.
All
From
above.
D. All of the above. Great, mashallah. Correct. Perfect. Question number four. $500 question is there. Fire hoses should be. Fire hoses should be checked for operation regularly, kept neatly rolled up, ready for a fire, used for hosing down the factory floor, or both A and B.
A and B.
A and B.
B.
Correct, Marshall. Brilliant. Question number 5, last question of round number 1. Last question of round number 1. The question, oh, just a moment. Just a moment. I directly jump for closing because we were at the round 1, the last question. So just a moment, please. Yes, we are there. So you already gave the answer. Now, the number 5 question for round number 1 is fire alarms are checked for operation regularly, indicated by signage and color, installed in accordance with local regulations and must be in high risk areas, or all of the above. Last question of round number 1.
D. D.
D. Okay. Because yes, fire alarms need to be checked operation regularly and also indicated with signage and color. So no language barrier. And installed in accordance with local regulations and must be in high risk areas and all of the above. So answer is all of the above. Excellent, mashallah. So round 2 is there. Question number 6, $2,000 question. The question is basic emergency action planning should be in place. What should this not cover? Basic emergency action planning should be in place. What should this not cover? Emergency shutdown procedures, shift roster, coverage illness, primary, secondary exit routes, assembly areas. Like you are preparing an emergency action plan, what should this not cover? One of the options is irrelevant. $2,000 question number 6.
B.
B.
B. Bahrain, from Bahrain.
Correct, Masha. Correct, Masha. $4,000 question number 7. Look at the picture. Heat, fuel, and oxygen we required, and then there would be a chemical reaction will get fire. If you want to prevent from fire, keep them away. Otherwise, have a protection system, like controlled one of the element more strongly or all other elements for better protection from fire. So the question is fire prevention processes do not include. So one of the option is irrelevant. Burning of rubbish, good housekeeping, storage and handling of combustible materials, hot work permits. Fire prevention. We are talking about fire prevention processes do not include what? Out of 4 options, 1 is irrelevant.
B.
Okay, any other opinion?
D.
Sorry?
D.
D. Hot work
D.
permit.
Yes.
Okay. Let's re-study the question and understand. Fire prevention processes. So a system we are implementing, prevention is better than cure. So we are implementing a system where we can prevent from fire. So which element should be part of our fire prevention plan and which is irrelevant, like burning of rubbish, good housekeeping? Can we avoid good housekeeping? Or storage and handling of combustible materials? Or can we ignore or avoid hot work permits like welding, brazing as part of our fire prevention plan? I hope you got the point. So fire prevention we are talking about, and good housekeeping is the foundational requirement actually to implement a fire prevention system actually. Housekeeping is critically important. We can't ignore within our plan. Same way the storage and handling of combustible materials also we can't ignore. Same way the hot work permit or the work permit system must be followed as part of our fire prevention plan, especially the hot works like welding, grinding, brazing, cutting, abrasive blasting, or any activity which can create ignition source. But burning of rubbish is kind of our, we know, is kind of our choice, through third party or even willingly. The moment we are burning something, we know what requirements we have to fulfill. But these three we can't ignore: good housekeeping, storing and handling of combustible materials, and hot works and permits. So right answer is A, burning of rubbish. No problem with that. So understanding of question is very much important, guys. Now look at the picture. We have emergency evacuation plan always displayed here and there, but how often should fire evacuation practice be carried out for each shift to cover all employees? How often should fire evacuation practice be carried out for each shift to cover all employees? Every month, once a year, twice a year, or once a year as required by the local regulations? $8,000 question is there. Question number 8. Second round is going on. Yes, please.
maybe B.
B or D?
B
Mr.
from Damba.
Dama. Okay. So, any other opinion, please? The best practice could be every month, could be twice a year, or maybe quarterly, like 4 times in a year. But that is our own best practice. But what laws say, that is the first requirement to be fulfilled. Mr. Khadi, you are absolutely right. Once a year or as required by the local regulations. So $8,000 question number 8. D is the right answer. So look at the picture. On the job, specific health and safety training is required for all workers. On the job, specific health and safety training is required for all workers. Within 3 months of starting a new job, prior to starting a new job, except temporary and migrant workers, or none of the above. On the job, specific health and safety training is required for all workers within 3 months or prior to starting a new job, or we can ignore temporary and migrant workers, or none of the above. $16,000 question, number 9. Yes, please. Yes, guys. We got the answer B from Mr. Muhammad. Prior to starting a new job. The best logical answer. Correct, mashallah. We have another question, last question of the round 2. $32,000 question is there. The question is, if you see fire or smoke, what should you do? The option A is panic, run out of the building as fast as you can. Option B is remain calm, alert warden, personally call fire services, leave the building, wait at the front for the fire truck. Option C is remain calm, rescue anyone if it's safe to do so, raise the alarm, close doors and windows, extinguish the fire with extinguisher or hoses. Or D is remain calm and follow your business evacuation plan and assemble in the designated assembly area. This question is for the general employees, not for the firefighters or the fire wardens or the fire marshals. This question is for general employees. If you see fire or smoke,
Number
what should
B.
you do? Yeah, please.
Yeah, we go to the assembly point. Under the man cloud.
Mr. Khalid, you'll go with D?
Yes.
Okay, correct, mashallah. Correct, brilliant. The last round of this fire competition. So we are going to talk about the first step to preventing a fire is a fire risk assessment. Question number 11, $64,000 question is there. Fire risk assessment should be carried out as part of your emergency planning, but step one is identifying the fire hazard, which are sources of ignition. Step one is identifying the fire hazard, which are sources of ignition. Option A is naked flames, cigarette matches, pilot lights, gas oil heaters, or gas welding cookers. Friction could be drive belts or worn bearings, spark, static electricity, metal impact, grinding, electrical contacts, switches, etc. Hot surfaces like heaters, engines, boilers, machinery, lighting, electrical equipment, hot work, welding, grinding, flame cutting, or all of the above. He's talking about sources of ignition. That there is a chance of spark or ignition or heat, we call it sources of ignition. That is the first step of fire risk assessment, to identify the sources of ignition. What is your right answer?
D.
Yeah? Mr. Khalid, B or D? B for best, D for Daman.
The mouth.
Daman, okay. Okay. So, correct, mashallah. Correct. Brilliant. $125,000 question is there. The question is fire risk assessment, even though step number one is identifying the fire hazard. Now is asking what are the sources of fuel? What are the sources of fuel? Fuel means it's not like diesel, petrol. Fuel means, could be diesel, petrol, wood, paper, something like that. So he's giving four options and let's see what would be your right answer. Anything that burns. Liquids could be solvent like petrol, white spirit, or methylated spirit, or paraffin, or thinners, even paint, varnish, adhesives, or gases, LPG, acetylene even. Solids could be textile, wood, paper, card, plastic, rubber, PU foam, furniture, fixtures, fittings, packaging, waste material. All of the above. He's talking about sources of fuel. $125,000 question is there. What is your right answer, please? Yes, guys. Sources of fuel.
Maybe. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Any other opinion, please? Yeah, Mr. Muhammad, you'll go with D. So D is the right answer because all are sources of fuel. Even though the answer is covering within option A also anything that burns. But specifically in B and C, he gave a lot of examples. So that is why all of the above would be the right answer. The $250,000 question number 13. So the question is, now we are talking about step 2 and step 3 of fire risk assessment. Step 2 is identifying the people at risk, and step 3 is evaluate the risk. Which are correct? Option A is evaluating the risk by reduce the possibility of ignition, like minimize the potential fuel load in the premises, assist people to escape. Option B is people at risk are based on spread of fire, number of people, how warnings are given, how escape can happen. Both A and B, or identifying people is carried out by fire wardens, and they will evaluate. They can extinguish the fire or call the fire service. $250,000 question number 13. 2 steps: identifying the people and evaluating the risk. So which are correct options? These are number 2 and 3rd step of fire risk assessment.
C.
Yes, Mr.
A and B. I think that.
Yeah, Mr. Khalid? Mr. Fawaz?
C. I think
Okay.
C.
A and B.
A and B, that means C. Correct, mashallah. Brilliant. Because it's talking about people to be identified and evaluating the risk. So in both options, evaluation and people, both are covered. So C is the right option. Brilliant, mashallah. Second last question of last round, $0.5 million question. So we're talking about use of fire or flame is called hot work. In a factory, this would be from where? Any work carried out in the workplace when the room temperature is over 38 degrees Celsius. Welding, cutting or brazing or using open flame or source of heat that could ignite material in an area. Both A and B, or any electrical power leads that are damaged and may cause electrocution. $0.5 million question is there. How would you define hot work?
B. B. بحرين.
B. Correct, Mr. Khalid, mashallah. Brilliant. The last question of round 3, question number 15, $1 million question is there. What is required for hot work permits? Like welding, brazing, grinding is going on. Option A is anyone can issue a hot work permit, including the person who is carrying out the hot work. Hot work can proceed as long as the area is inspected 60-90 minutes after completion of the hot work. Issued by an authorized person, assessment of the area, including removal of flammable material, available firefighting equipment, watches to monitor and inspection post-work, or all of the above. $1 million question is there.
D.
Sorry?
D. From Dammam.
Okay. Any other opinion, guys? What is required for hot work permits?
Or maybe C. Maybe
Okay.
C.
C. Any other opinion, guys? I'm expecting the confident answer. Choose any
Yes,
No,
or 3 or 1.
I believe the answer is C.
C. Yeah.
C. So that means
Yes.
the hot work permit must be issued by an authorized person, and area should be assessed, and all flammable materials
Yes.
we need to remove and make sure the firefighting equipment is there. Watcher is also available, like fire watcher, and make sure the monitoring, like even post-work inspection is there. So C is the right answer, Masha. Great. Thank you very much for your great participation. So enjoy your lunch and have your prayer break, inshallah. So catch you back at 1 o'clock, inshallah. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you
you.
very much.